Bravo, Bulls, because you guys just triggered what appears to be the beginning of the next leg up for Bitcoin to make a run at all-time highs. Now, this is looking really juicy, as we just mentioned in earlier this week's video that if this certain trigger broke on the CPI print, this could be the big trigger and signal that we've been waiting for, and then it's time to go balls deep in altcoins. Now, that is the position we're in now. Let's take a look and see objectively how we can take advantage of this and make a shitload of money, but also how do we protect ourselves on the downside if we are wrong. Most of the crypto influencers and traders out there aren't going to tell you how to protect yourself if you're wrong, which is the most important thing in trading. I don't want to die, and I'm sure you don't want to either. So let's look at this objectively and how we can make some bank if we are right, but also protect ourselves if we are wrong. Welcome back to the channel, Wolves. I got a quick favor to ask of you. I would love to get a 10% like to follower ratio. Right now we have 5,557 followers on this channel. To get 10% likes, we need 557 likes. So if you look down right now and you don't see 557 likes, please contribute to getting our goal, and let's grow this channel together. I appreciate it. Love you. Thank you. Let's get back to the analysis. All right, boys and girls, let's just take a look at what just happened on Bitcoin on this massive pump to the upside. We got a huge rip on BTC all the way up here on the CPI print, breaking out above this descending trend line, which was actually the breakout trigger. We also broke out above these lines right here, which was the pivot about 63.5. So that's a dual breakout. Now, this is very bullish for multiple reasons. One, because that's just were crucial levels that needed to be broken to regain momentum to the upside. We also broke the 50-day moving average, and we're also clearly back above the degenerate trend, short-term trend. So while just yesterday, before CPI, everything was still pointing down, we were still in bearish territory with bearish momentum. Other than this potential buy signal that we had here on the sell side liquidity trap, bullish signal, as I had pointed out in the previous videos from a few weeks ago, this was a beautiful trap that came down below here. Brief interruption here, guys. Did you know that 75% of traders have accounts under $25,000? This creates a huge problem because even if you double that account in a year, which is almost impossible, you're still only making $25,000. Introducing Hydra funding, where you can potentially get access up to $500,000 in capital. All you have to do, guys, is sign up for a challenge account, which is going to give you potentially access up to $500,000. And if you earn a 10% profit in this demo account without going into a 5% loss overall or a 4% loss in a day, you will then pass their evaluation phase and, yes, get access to an account with the selected size account. And now, instead of trying to double a $10,000 account, you could potentially earn only 10% on a $100,000 account to earn the same level of profits. And the benefits of this are huge. Rather than risking your entire $10,000 on one account, you can use just $1,000 to potentially get access to $100,000 in capital. You can trade crypto, forex, stocks, CFTs, gold, oil, everything under the sun, all on MT4 and MT5. If you're interested, if you have an account under $25,000, like 75% of traders out there, you're not going to make any money with that account because it's too small. Get access to pro level funding and pro level capital with Hydra funding. Link's going to be below. As soon as that ripped back to the upside, we were just off to the races, and then we had a pullback into a buy zone, and now we finally broke out above an actual pattern trigger that triggers a signal for the bulls. Right, so this is a very, very bullish sign. Right now, we are seeing a little bit of halt in momentum, which is not surprising because we're going right into this resistance order block right here with the peak here at about 67,142 and the low of that order block about 65,840. And we're basically just stalling out right in that level. If we look at the intraday chart, we really haven't seen a pullback yet since the CPI print breakout. We just went straight up here on the CPI numbers, right into resistance, and now we're kind of consolidating as of right now. What I would like to see is price to pull back on the 1 hour or so to give us an opportunity to be buying the dip. We can also look at the daily chart here for this initial move that we've seen right here, pull out the fib, and look to be buying into this somewhere between 50 to 78.6 Fibonacci levels, okay? Even potentially earlier than that, because 50% pullback of this move right now is right at the actual breakout point, about 63,496. So really buying anywhere in this kind of zone right here, near the midpoint of this breakout candle, I think is gonna be a potentially great buying opportunity for the next leg up. And that'll actually be even more of a bullish chart pattern at that point, because then we'll have a horizontal resistance level. Then we'll have an ascending trend here, right? So anything buying into this dip into horizontal and ascending trend right here, that would be a primo buying opportunity. And then now we have a 1, 2 points of resistance, and then third time's a charm breakout, and that would be a huge bullish signal to come up. And first target would be obviously just retesting ATH. What happens from there is kind of anybody's guess, but the first initial target obviously would just be up near about 71 to recent highs or all-time highs about 73,800. So that's kind of what we're looking at on Bitcoin at the moment. If we look at what's going on Ethereum, it's a little bit different because we are actually still yet to break out. So obviously, if we look at Bitcoin dominance here, Bitcoin dominance has just been pumping to the upside. And all this means is that Bitcoin is accelerating much faster than the entire market in general, right? Bitcoin dominance basically just means, well, yes, other things are moving up as well, but Bitcoin is moving at a much higher velocity than everything else, meaning it's totally taking charge. It's moving bigger and faster than all the other altcoins. So that's kind of what we're looking at on the chart. Also, when we look at Ethereum, we can see that Bitcoin already is breaking out, while Ethereum is lagging and has yet to break out, which is basically the leading indicator for altcoins as of right now. So there's multiple areas. If we're looking at what's going on here, Ethereum is still technically not flipped full on bullish for many reasons. One is that we're still below degenerate trend, still trending down. We're also still below the 50-day moving average, which is sitting right here. We're below the anchored VWAPs from both of these top points right here, which is this anchored VWAP and this anchored VWAP. In addition, we have 1, 2, 3 areas of resistance. So there's technically still a decent amount of resistance on the upside for altcoins ahead of us, because right now, Bitcoin has, in the near term, flipped bullish as of right now. All things are pointing up when we look at very short term and even the longer term 50-day moving average. Ethereum, on the other hand, is still struggling slightly, and that's why we're seeing the Bitcoin dominance going up quite a bit. Now, we need Ethereum not only just to hold these lows, right? This would be bad if Ethereum starts pumping down below these lows, but we definitely want to see it maintain those lows. The good thing here is that we're relatively oversold in the degenerate shift. We're not exactly getting a buy signal like something over here, but we are oversold in fear and greed. So at least if we do see the upside potential of a buy run here on Ethereum, we have a lot of room to the upside for fear and greed to go, and we have a lot of room to the upside for degenerate shift to go, even though we just spiked massively. So right now, Ethereum is still struggling slightly at this resistance point, right? 1, 2, now third touch point here, still grinding on the degenerate trend. But again, I think we have a solid low in play here after this big bullish candle, as well as the big bullish candle that we have on Bitcoin. I think we have a nice strong base building right here. Ideally, we might see one more little pullback, and then we start breaking up above these highs, which that would be replicating kind of the chart that Bitcoin just broke out of. Then we come up and retest these levels, and if we get above this descending trend line, then we're off to the races, and we're probably going to come up and test about 3,700 first. From that point, who knows what's going to happen? Then we might go up to the actual 4,000 point mark here on Ethereum. But right now, Bitcoin is definitely leading the way, much more so than altcoins or Ethereum in general, which is definitely seen by just looking at Bitcoin dominance. We can also look at NASDAQ here. The resistance points from the Fibonacci retracement that we saw similar to this move right here, as we went right up into 50 to 78.6%. Then the pullback, we saw nothing like that on this one. We just went straight through those levels on this run here on the CPI print, as well as stronger than expected earnings. As soon as this broke through the 78.6% on PPI news, then CPI news, just 2 massively bullish days based on those news prints, of which trying to predict how market's going to react on PPI and CPI is very, very difficult. It's literally just like betting on earnings. You're either going to get wrecked or make a lot of money, which typically is not a good thing to do and not a good long-term strategy, because the more you get wrecked, the bigger gains you have to make that money back. So I don't recommend trading these days. It's very difficult. So many people try to swing for the fence on PPI, CPI, NFP because they want that big life-changing trade. But I promise you, trying to gamble like that, it's literally gambling, it's going to be very difficult to make money long term, because that one time that you're on the wrong side, you're going to get wiped out and get wrecked. And it's going to be a difficult and mentally unstable process for you to try to make it back. And most likely, you're going to get wrecked on one time and you're going to like, fuck, the only way to make this back quick is to win big on the next big gamble CPI print. So you're going to go big again. If you're wrong again, you're fucked. You're going to wipe yourself out and you're going to die, and you're not going to be able to survive long enough to keep playing and build momentum and gains in this game of trading. So I always lean towards the conservative side. In my 20 years of trading, yes, I've made some big risky trades and it's worked out in the end, but that same trading behavior leads me to do it again in another scenario. And when you lose big, it's very, very difficult to come back from that. So try to stay conservative. As much as I know you guys all want to get rich quick and make life-changing trades, that's just not how to do this long term. The best thing you can do for your wealth in trading is to get rich slow, make small gains consistently over 10 years, not try to go for one life-changing trade that will change your life forever, because that's fucking playing the lottery, okay? And nobody wins the lottery, and even the people that do win the lottery, they go broke because the way that they got rich is not a strategy to stay rich, okay? So that's just my little rant on that. But as of right now, S&P, all-time highs. NASDAQ, all-time highs. Now, I don't doubt that we're going to see some sort of pullback, right, off this massive run right here. But overall, we're bullish, right? CPI was better than expected. Earnings have been pretty decent. We're at all-time highs. I expect that this trend is going to continue. We're still above 50-day moving average. We're above degenerate trend. Everything is looking good. But there's probably going to be some sort of pullback. We're getting overbought here on degenerate shift. We're super overbought on fear and greed. So don't be surprised when we see some sort of pullback here to the next trend up, and then we might see another leg up. That would be the similar situation where we got a pullback in Ethereum and a pullback on Bitcoin, which would allow us to buy into some of these other altcoins that we're watching for the next leg up. Now, just a little freebie. I'm not going to give you the full list of altcoins that I bought into pre-CPI and ones that I just picked up today, but one of them was Miro. I wanted to get in a little bit of these altcoins. This is a beautiful revival pattern breakout. We have the lead in trend is bearish, followed by an ascending triangle breakout pattern. We are yet to break out on this right now, so we are in pre-breakout. We did break out this descending trend, but we haven't broken out the horizontal resistance yet, which is about 19.5. I bought in down here at about 16.5 in the Wolfpack Discord group. If you don't know what that is, it is my Wolf Alerts Discord group where I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm buying, what I'm selling, what my stop levels are, what my profit target levels. And with every alert I make, I send out a personal 2-minute to 3-minute video explaining why I just bought into this altcoin and further explaining the analysis and logic behind the trade that I just got in so that you can better understand why I'm doing the things I'm doing. Again, I don't recommend following my trades because that's giving financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so all this is for educational purposes only, of course. But anyways, guys, there's a lot of altcoins setting up. So if you want to see which ones I'm actually trading and what ones I'm actually thinking about and buying in right now, there's a link below for the Discord. I'd love to see you in there and show you what we've been cooking up and what we're building in our portfolio. Anyways, guys, things are looking good. I like what we see here, okay? Any sort of dip on Bitcoin, I think it's going to be a solid buying opportunity into this level for the next leg up. Then we'll have a survival breakout pattern. Then we retest all-time highs, and potentially we're heading towards 100K. Let's see what we got coming up in the next few weeks and months. But right now, that breakout today is very bullish for the bulls, and it gives me a little bit higher hopes that we could see a continuation finally in the next leg up in crypto. Anyways, guys, is there 578 likes on this video yet? I don't know. Why don't we go take a look right now together and hit that like button, because that's going to help us grow this channel together. Peace out. See you in the next one.